Well, this is the second one this week that I've seen. Good to put them down there. They're sort of away by themselves and not near any ewes. Stop the cattle have been, well, there's a select few. Can't hear me because of the wind. What's doing? Hey, collar. Oh, it's a lot of wool. Hey, Max, what do you reckon? Good morning, everyone. What's going on this morning? Just come up to Doughboy to press up some wool, finally. It's about that time. Just mostly merino. All the crossbreds pressed up, I think. There's just a heap of butts and stuff to be pressed up, so that's what we're doing this morning. Dad's on his way up here now. We came up here last night and pressed a few. It's not a very square bale, is it? These super shear sunbeam presses, they don't press quite as good a bale as the TPW, the yellow ones. Probably user error as well. Perfect day again. We actually got about 5 mils. Today is Tuesday. We got 5 mils on Sunday, which, yeah, I mean, it's not much, but it's kicked the crops along well, and everything's shot up the past few days because it's unseasonably warm, really. As you can see, I haven't had a jumper on this morning, and it's the start of August, so spring might be coming a bit sooner than expected. Drought might be coming sooner than expected. Still stuck in this house with a mind full of doubts. We've got all the like merino stain, bellies, locks, and then there's a little bit of fleece wool to press up as well. I'm pretty sure there's a few bales here, but yeah, there should be more than that. So we'll get into it. I'll only be here for about a couple of hours. Dad's got to go to a funeral this morning, so we're just going up here and do a bit before he does that, and then I'm going to go try and get some lucerne seed beds prepared. So just flatten it out with, you'll see a bit later on, but I'll show you that. Existential dread. What in the world does it mean? Month 2, month 4, can't take it anymore. Got to get my feet out the door. So put me on a train, I don't care where it's going. Fly me on a plane, maybe out to Wyoming. Even I don't need no plans, just I need to go somewhere. I need to go somewhere. Just heading down to Lucerne now, so I'll show you what we're going to do once I get down there. So as you can see, what we got here is just a few bits of railway iron that we made when we first did this paddock. The rest of it here, if you haven't been watching along, there's a little bit that got wet last year that drowned, so we're redoing that this year. Just re-preparing it again. It's been ploughed a couple of times, and now I'm just going to try and drag this over and try and level it out a little bit. We'll see how it works. I can't really remember how well it does work. I think it's going to be better than pulling the plough over it again. Ideally, probably a speed tiller, but I mean, it's only a couple of hectares, so we don't have a speed tiller. We could hire one, and there was a fella that offered one to us to hire, which I appreciate, but yeah, just for this little bit, just not really worth it. I think that was in Goulburn, so it's about 50 odd minutes from here. Just not worth getting that out here. For this little bit, we were going to put another couple of paddocks in, or another paddock in at least, but just weren't organised, and probably bit too many weeds in the paddock. It was actually the canola, one of the canola paddocks that we were going to do, but there's just a few too many weeds, I think, to go into Lucerne. Yeah, maybe next year. You can sort of see what it's doing here in front of me compared to where I've been. It is leaving it pretty flat. I might have to go over it again right before we sow it or something. It's coming up alright, it's just not, well, it's not perfect, but the trouble is we don't want to muck around with it too much because we're losing moisture every time we sort of play with the dirt. And this year, compared to last year, we really don't have a lot of moisture. Can't see much back there, but it is levelling it. Got it on a little bit of an angle so the dirt's got somewhere to go. Wombat hole. I'm trying to keep my speed up as well, so around that 10-12k. Well, this is the second one this week that I've seen. A dead crow for some reason. I mean, I guess I guess birds die at some point too, but it's just random that I've seen two this week. So I don't know what that's all about, but anyway, he's going back into the earth now. You can see what we're doing here. See, ideally we would break, as I said, and I will keep saying it, the speed tiller would have done this paddock perfectly, but that's just something we couldn't really justify doing on this little bit this year, but it's leaving it all right. The lucerne will go into this all right. I think this is breaking them up a little bit, like these big ones, but then it's still leaving these little ones here in areas. It's a bit even more so over there, or it's a bit heavier soil. No, it's a lot better than what it was anyway. You can see there is moisture there, which is good down underneath though. So if we get another, the forecasters sort of, it's up and down a bit. They say there might be a little bit, but it's not much. But then, you know, they only said there was supposed to be 1 or 2 mils on the weekend, then we end up with 5. So just don't really know, I guess. Must be hard being a weatherman, being wrong all the time. We'll keep cracking on. Took a bit of fiddling around, like lifting it up and down. I put them over this so that you could lift it up and then it'll drag less dirt then, and then put it down, it sort of digs in a lot more. So it seems to be working all right for a homemade jobby. That all leveled off now, so it's come up pretty well, I think. As I said, I'm just having a look out here. This is the sort of the lighter corner where there's a bit more weeds down here where the lucerne was a bit thinner, but you can see this is all lucerne. There's 200 sheep on here at the moment, just chewing it off, chewing all the weeds right back. And then we come through some spray seed and some diuron and spray on here, and then put the diuron on the ploughed stuff as well that's going into lucerne. But down that end is actually really clean, which is good. Well, probably from, yeah, sort of from here onwards, down that end, the better end of the paddock, it's actually really clean, which is good to see. So hopefully first cutting will be nicer than last year. Doesn't look like there's too many thistles in here, which is good, which was, you know, what's this, going into the 3rd year of it now. So, you know, every year we've been taking the thistles out of it and they haven't been able to set seed. So, you know, obviously there should be less thistles. Hopefully get another three cuts off it again this year, or 4 cuts even, depending on how it's sort of warming up pretty early. So I don't know whether that's a good thing or not. All we can do is wait and see. We'll head back now. I just went around a few rougher spots over them again, and 2 or 3 times again, just to try and level them off, and they came up well. So I'm just going to go back home now, and probably, I don't know what the time is, might be nearly lunchtime, have a bit of lunch. Hey Max, what are you doing? Sit. What have you been up to, apart from lying in the sun? Just getting a few of these flock rams in. I'm going to take them down to the other place. They were down there. They were running with the merino weathers that I crushed. I can't remember if I videoed that or not. Crushed late last week. So I'm just taking these back down there, give them a drench. Good to put them down there. They're sort of away by themselves and not near any ewes, so they can't cause any trouble. Well, actually, they got to go across a road to get to the ewes, and actually 2 years ago they did. Two of them crossed the road. Here, Maggie, here, back. 2 of them crossed the road and got 260 ewes in there. Push them up here, Max. Hey. Hey. But we have rolled on into the next day. We've gone down and helped Dad set up, oh sorry, not set up, grab the plough. He's going to do a contract job half an hour from here. 12 hectares to plough. So he's doing that today. I'm just getting in the Massey here. Gonna put the 4-in-1 bucket on the front and go up and clear a fence line. So we concreted some posts in, what was that, probably 4 or 5 days ago. So just give it another couple of days to set, and then we'll start putting the fence up. But while we're waiting, I'm just gonna go and run the 4-in-1 over the fence line and just sort of clear anything out of the road. There's one blackberry bush there that's got to go, just so nothing gets in the road when we're putting up the new fence. There's no trees or anything, but then I think we've got to go fix a floodgate, or I've got to go fix a floodgate to stop the cattle. There's a few cows and calves getting on the lucerne down there. Did I talk about it yesterday? I think I did. We're chewing off the lucerne before we spray it. I'm sure I did. Tell you what, after the 5 mils we had on the weekend, things are certainly greened up pretty quickly, which is good to see. Plenty of clover that's shot, which is awesome. A bit different this year than it was this time last year. Last year had a fair bit more feed and a bit more overburden, and therefore it wasn't as much clover. But now that most paddocks have been chewed off pretty well and the sunlight can get down to the ground, yeah, you can already see the amount of clover that's coming, which is good. So if we get a good rain, we should have a good amount of clover this spring. Okay, we have arrived. You might be able to see the strainer up the top of the hill there. Fence is obviously running along this road here, and all I'm coming out here to do is, you can see where the old fence line is and how there's sort of a build-up of grass, and there'd be a bit of a build-up of dirt and stuff as well. So all I'm doing is just going to take that lip off, and there's a few rocks in the road you can see. Just makes it so much easier when you come back to put a new fence up, and yeah, running the bottom wire mainly is the main reason. It just gets all that stuff out of the road and gives you a clean slate to start with. The mighty Massey. There's that job done. You can see it's just taking that little lip off the top there, and it will just make it easier. I did try to put the drone up and get a bit of a shot, but too windy up the top of this hill. We're sort of, I mean, I know you can't really tell, but we are on top of a sort of bit of a range, so it's always a bit windy up here. It's been a while since I've had the drone up. I've been a bit slack on that front, but I did put it up yesterday when we were ploughing, as you saw, and hopefully it just adds to the video. It's so good. Just little snippets of different angles and stuff. This video might be a bit different format. Alright, we have got a sheep on the loose. I'll have to come back up in the ute and try and catch her, because that's a boundary. That's Doughboy, place we share farm, and this is home here, so I'll have to catch her, and because there's ewes and lambs on either side, so I'll have to catch her and check her tag. Better go and get the Maggie and the Carly. Naughty, naughty sheep. I didn't think there was a hole in that fence, but maybe there is. Yes, I see you. Don't try and run away. Now, I'm pretty sure all those lambs in there are marked. So, and he's not marked that lamb, so I know that he's not from there. I know you want to be on the nice green oats. I'm afraid you don't need to be. Yep, Maggie, shh. Or was that you, Carly? See if she goes back over here through this other fence. Oh, gotcha. Indeed. Yeah, she is from our place. Pretty sure she would have got through the fence down here, so I'll taste her down here and see if she finds her hole. I did get her. Go on. There you go. Well, I'm glad to see you're just as puff as I am. And I play footy. Get up. Go on. Just wanted to make sure she gets up because she is fat. Lamb's just hiding in the grass down there. Maggie. So as mentioned earlier, I'm just going to fix a floodgate on this lucerne down on the creek here. Stop the cattle have been, well, there's a select few older ones that gotten used to sort of run down fences. Now they seem to just push their way through. So I'm just going to put a few more steel posts in and strain a couple of wires up. There's our culprit. What I'm going to do is, you can see hinge joint has been across there when we fixed this initially, and then last year being such a wet year, it hasn't been fixed since last year. It's just washed it all down here. So I'm going to put a few more. I had a couple of steel posts the other day, but I didn't have any tie wire, so I got some wire with me, and we'll put a few more steel posts in along here, and then I'll get a strap and throw it over there and get all we need to do on this side done, and then on my way out I'll go across there and strain it up, because if you think your old mate Lockie's going to go for a swim, you're wrong. It's not warm enough for that. Well, I did start tying it off, and then I remember that I still got to strain it up yet, so we will have to come back across here, I think. So I'll tie a strap to this and then throw the hook end over. It's got a bit of weight to it, so it should nearly make it to that log anyway. And then I'll go around and pull it over. See how this works. What do you reckon, Carly? I didn't think you'd get up there, but you do. Old Hilux, go anywhere. What are you doing up there? Come on. Come on. Well, we got it across. Probably going to tighten this up a little bit. Don't want it too much, because then it'll be too high off the water, and then when the inevitable big drought comes, that'll sink, and then we still want the wire to be close to the ground. We will have to come back and do something if it does dry up, obviously, but don't want it too tight. Oh, there we go. Hopefully that'll stop a few cattle. It's a bit better than what it was anyway. Wind's picked up a bit. Thought we better come out and have a quick look at the peloton. I don't think you've seen this in a fair while. Looks good from here, doesn't it? It's not so good up around the dam, I can tell you that. Bloody ducks. But this will be third grazing. These warmer temperatures we've been having, it's just taken off. But it's still such a rich dark green. Yeah, it looks the picture anyway. You might be able to see on camera that lighter green up around the dam there. The ducks have just been hammering it. Hey Carly! Hey Carly! Can't hear me because of the wind. Hey Carly! Hey Carly! Don't know what we'll put on here next. Probably some lambs. Maybe the stud lambs, wean them onto this. Let's see how we're going. That'll be probably a couple weeks, or next week or the week after. We'll be weaning them, so be nearly ready for something to come on do by then. Just bought another bale of hay out for the rams. These are the sale rams this year, trying to keep them going along towards the end of winter here. How about that, eh? Not bad feed for the middle of winter. And the smell. Smells unreal. Anyway guys, I think that's going to wrap it up for another one. Hope you enjoyed it. A little bit different video, but a bit of variety is always good. So I'm just about to knock off, just feed a few animals, and then I'll be heading home. But if you made it this far, thanks very much. Appreciate your support, and with that, we'll catch you in the next one. Alrighty, see ya. Bye.